That brings you to the clinic today?
Well, I've been having some headaches, I don't know, for maybe 6 or 7 months. And before that I used to have trouble with my stomach, sort of a hyperacidity. I never developed an ulcer, but I just had a lot of tension. And that cleared up, that went away, and I had more headaches. Kind of, I don't know, tension headaches. But I guess the main thing that brought me, I mean, that's just what I've been having, but it has to do with my girlfriend. I mean, that's why I have the tension. Well, she just does a lot of things that annoy me. And, you know, maybe I'm oversensitive. I don't know. That's what she tells me, that I'm oversensitive. Like she breathes too loud. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but she breathes too loud. I'll be studying, we're both graduate students, and I'll be in the bedroom studying, and she'll be in the living room, and I can hear her breathing all the way in there, just real loud breathing. Or if we're sitting in class together, we have a couple classes together, or seminars. She will be sitting near me, and I'll just be very aware of her breathing and making unpleasant noises, and I'll get tense, and it's like a charged subject. If I say to her, if I even mention to her about her breathing, she explodes. She gets very angry about it.
What is it about her breathing that bothers you?
Or just that it's loud. It's disturbing. Maybe I'm oversensitive. We're both in geography, and I'll be trying to really concentrate on what I'm reading. We have to do a lot of reading, and it's like she's trying to distract me. You know, I don't know if it's intentional or just inconsideration on her part or whatever, but I really am. I'm oversensitive. See, I didn't used to be that way. That's what bothers me. Because I'm noticing a lot of noises lately, like the dogs running across our yard making noises, or the neighbors emptying the trash. Just any little thing like that bothers me, and it didn't used to. So, and I don't know why I'm sensitive like that.
You said lately you've been noticing a lot of noises.
Yeah.
How long?
Maybe 6 months. 6 months to a year. I'm not exactly sure when it started.
You chose to come to the clinic, though, at this time.
Uh-huh.
Can you tell me more about why you decided to come at this time rather than 6 months ago or a year ago?
Well, things have sort of gotten out of hand with my girlfriend and me. Like I was driving, well, she drives, she does most of the driving, and we were coming into school this past week, a couple days ago, and she does all the driving. I just don't like to drive. I grew up in Memphis, and we had to drive on a lot of freeways, and there were a lot of accidents and things, and so she was driving, and we drive in the same way every morning. You know, come in down the hill, you know, out by the corner of the hospital there, come down right, turn. With no warning, she just suddenly goes left. And I was talking to her about something in geography or Newsweek, I can't remember, and coming down, go left, and I screamed at her. I just, you know, said, "What are you doing?" And she got real mad, called me a backseat driver, and we argued all morning about it. But she didn't tell me, you know, that she was going to go just drop a letter in the mail. If I'd known that ahead of time, I wouldn't have gotten so anxious about it. I just get real anxious when she's driving the car.
What do you think about when she drives the car?
I don't know, that she's going to kill both of us. That she's, especially like when we pass a tractor trailer coming the other way, I get scared that she's going to be talking. She's real careless. Just the way she leaves things around the house, or when she's driving, she'll be talking and eating and looking or something. I just get scared that she's going to swerve in front of a truck. I mean, maybe that's stupid, but
What do you call your girlfriend?
Her name?
Right.
Oh, Susie.
Can you tell me something about Susie?
Well, when I first met her, I liked her lots because she was just really attractive. I just thought she was really pretty and real smart. In fact, she does a lot better in the department than I do. That's another problem. They only have one position next year for somebody on the faculty, and she and I are both trying for that same position. So she's just real smart. She's real pretty. And I don't know, about 6 months ago or a year ago, I'm not sure when it was, I just started noticing we're at a restaurant, and I remember thinking, she's not that attractive. She's just not that pretty. There's something wrong with her, the way she chews with her mouth open sometimes. Or, I don't know, just for months, I just thought, she's just not that pretty, and I don't know why I'm interested in it. I just really do get mad at her. It makes it rough. Like, if I could quit being so mad, I think we'd get along okay.
When's it time so
Okay, another typical example. I was giving a lecture to undergrad students every day.
Or it's only temporary work?
Yes. Yes, that was just for temporary things.
What did you like better, the office work or working as a sales lady?
I don't like office work at all. I like the nursing. Only, of course, I've given quite a lot of thought and attention to it since then, and I have found something even more satisfying than that.
What is it?
Book of Revelations, tell you that.
You mean the Bible?
Yeah. I believe in the return of Christ and salvation from any mortality. I don't believe in mortality. Immortality.
You mean that we are not mortal?
Yes. That's right.
That people die usually.
We die because we do not keep the law.
Well, you know, the other day you told me about the government being concerned in some way with all this.
Yes, because the government doesn't keep the law. The government is not in harmony with truth.
But do you mean to say that the governments prevent people from fulfilling the law?
Yes, they do. They're
Oh.
known as martyrs.
The people?
Those people, yes, who are attacked by the government when they wish to be truthful about the law and fulfillment of it.
Well, how would the government go about it?
I consider Hitler was one martyr.
I mean, he was crucified by
Wall Street.
Wall Street? The war, in other words, was...
Man.
Why would people try to persecute Hitler?
Try to tell them the objective of the law and try to harmonize, try to establish the harmony in the kingdom of truth.
Were you the only one who realized it?
Oh, heavens, no.
The way you do.
Don't they? Many people don't, but I don't think I'm think of the word now. I don't think I'm a unique personality that thinks, the only one who thinks that Hitler is right.
The second was that you're a happily married man.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, a happily married man who at this juncture had about 23 illegitimate children. Somewhere along the line to which I had none of the best of my knowledge, since technically speaking, I have never been in bed with a woman before. But although there have been times where I've been close. And a third cover would be just to finish this off, and then we can get back to digression, hopefully. A third cover would be that of some kind of churchman with some authority. Now, under all these guises was the feeling that under any cost, I had to be covered as far as certain church beliefs that I have right now. Let's drop that one right there. Delve into that might really embarrass me as far as the credibility of any of this stuff is concerned, and I assure you, when I go undercover, I try to make it a credible one.
What's the purpose of these covers?
Well, it's probably a secure. It's probably a inverse of a defense mechanism. No, that's a chicken's way out. The real way out is that it's a serious form of theatrics, which are being played out to the hilt for some paradoxical intended purposes.
You know, we were talking about whether you had some kind of special ability. Did you really believe you were these people?
Oh, to a great degree. I was playing those roles very seriously, but let's put it this way. Never so seriously that I could not extricate myself from these roles one way or another. And never was any role adopted in any sense whatever, other than to perhaps now is the correct time to use defense mechanisms and that sort of thing, other than perhaps to recall them. I got ahead of myself when I interrupted myself earlier.
When you first came into the hospital, you thought you were in the role of a doctor as well, and you thought you were treating quite a lot of patients. You were even treating some of the nurses and attendants. Was being a doctor another cover?
Well, actually being an MD, no. But being one who could handle certain kind of emergency situations, paramedic and psychiatric situations, yes, that would be all. That would be it. Not as somebody with an MD degree who's capable of prescribing the right kind of medication, but to apply some real comfort in terms of relief from physical or psychic or whatever the term applied, is that applied in these circumstances. But that kind of pain, but definitely some kind of homebrew remedy, yes. Otherwise, no connection whatsoever. Does that answer your question?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Have you ever had the experience of hearing voices?
Yes, I have heard something like a voice, but always with an echo quality to it. Almost as if it were an ab reaction to a circumstance where there might be something creeping up on an individual because he's had certain kinds of rackets. As I say rackets, by racket I don't mean anything other than a noise in the background that seems to linger in one's ears and comes back to haunt one later on. Those sorts of things, I think, at least from my experience, are known to do.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard only one kind of voice, or a couple of different?
Oh no, there have been, when playing this out, there have been, playing these roles out, there have been echoes of voices of many different sorts of personalities. Some of them quite prominent personalities, some of them quite humble personalities.
Okay. Are they familiar?
Yes, in some instances, Gerald R. Ford himself.
Do they tell you to do things?
No, I've never been directed by anyone.
Okay. Do they comment on what you do?
They are suggestive, but not directive.
Okay. Do they comment on what you do?
No.
Okay. Does this happen very often?
No. Only when I'm under a particular kind of stress and require release.
Has it happened in the last few weeks?
No. Some of it was going on to a certain extent the first few weeks I was in the hospital, but that was about it. They faded away.
Have you ever felt that people are trying to harm you, or that they're conspiring against you, or anything like that?
No, never.
You know, a kind of conspiracy?
No, if there have been any conspiracies under the cover of being a security agent or that sort of thing, I'm the world's best at tracking, in terms of tracking down conspiracies. And in all instances, there would be conspiracies against another individual or related to the cause of which I essentially had no essential interest in, essential internal interest.
Cut that off, Doc. Cut it off.
What?
Hello? Hello? Is that necessary, really?
That's just part of the filming.
I mean, is it necessary? Okay. You're a doctor. You say it's necessary, I'll do it.
You said they sent you here. Who are they?
All of them. See, I'm dying, really. Right? I'm dying from a... Don't laugh at me, because I'm serious. I'm dying from an unknown disease. But Mother and Daddy know about it.
What's the disease?
Oh, I'm dying from
it. How long have you known about this?
Just not too long. But I know how to live. The best thing to do is to not, don't you listen to this here.
No, before I turn
The best thing to do is to annihilate the world. Start all over again and build. People are talking about going to the moon. The best thing to do is to annihilate the world and start over like Noah's Ark. That's a truth. Real geniuses have people with an average IQ, but they are nuts.
Why did everyone think that you needed to come to hospital, Mr. Fisher?
Because I let snakes bite me.
I see. How long have you been doing that?
Letting snakes bite?
Yes.
I ain't been doing that too long. I've been catching them for a long time. I like to let them bite me. You get a sensation. Have you ever seen an electric wire? I know you've done this. And just look at it and then just grab it. Have you?
No, I haven't done
Like these suicide cases, they don't have suicide cases in the hospital. They don't have it.
that.
Person, a suicide case is in the morgue. He's not in the hospital.
Now,
If they cut themselves, if they want to die, they'll cut it right there. I took a gun one time and clicked it 3 times. Didn't go off. I turned over a truck. I swallowed a bunch of pills. I actually get my kicks from swallowing pills. Or something, anything. But they don't, I ain't gonna tell nobody that. I can't tell nobody how I feel. I'm gonna first kill myself. Or everybody in there. Then I'm gonna kill all the attendants. I don't like those attendants. These people up here, I mean, they don't get mad at you. They don't get mad at you. They're nice. I wouldn't kill them. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to hurt nobody.
do you get angry at times too?
I just get, you know, spells. Well, when I get mad, man, I had a 64 Impala convertible. Yeah, the only one I can rent. But I get mad at it and I'll just tear stuff up. Or I just like to get in the building with a hammer, an axe, a glass building, and just tear it up. You know what I mean?
Do you think that you're mentally ill?
No, I'm not. That's why I've tried to tell them there's nothing mentally wrong with me. There's nothing emotionally wrong with me. There's nothing. I'm going, when I get out, I'm going to get me a hill, and I'm going to stay on that hill. I'm going to get me enough whiskey. I don't want nothing to eat. I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to stay on that hill.
Do you feel that you want some help though?
If I needed it, sure. Do you think I need it?
Yes, I think you need some help.
You really do? You really do?
Yes, certainly. Why are you laughing?
You think I'm nuts?
No. No.
I'm emotionally disturbed.
I think you've got some problems.
You're smart man.
How are you feeling? Well. How long have you been here?
About 3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you here?
That's difficult to answer.
Could you give me some idea?
Offhand, I can't.
Whose idea was it that you come here?
A psychiatrist.
And what happened that ended up with your being here in the hospital?
The psychiatrist decided that this was the situation for me.
Did he tell you why?
No, the psychiatrist did not.
Has anybody told you why?
No.
Have you any idea why?
Yes.
Then what is that?
I am not completely like other people.
What do you mean by that?
People dislike me because I am not completely like them.
And in what way are you different?
I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do. And this influences my thinking and consequently my actions.
What is it you're trying to do with your life?
Play the piano for people.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
I sit differently when I play the piano, and when I'm away from the piano I occasionally look differently from other people, and this has caused dislike from people.
They dislike you because you sit differently at the piano?
Yes.
What way do you sit at the piano that people would dislike you?
I cannot describe an illustration of how I sit.
And I can't imagine it, that it would make people angry at you or at least dislike you. How do you know they dislike you?
My father does, and doctors do, because of the way I appear in relationship to the way I sit at the piano and occasionally stand when I'm away from the piano because of the way I sit at the piano.
How do you stand when you're away from the piano that they dislike you?
I can't describe an illustration.
Does it feel to you any different from the way other people stand?
Yes, it feels different.
very slender, very flexible. And I was told, whenever punishment time arose, to go out into our backyard, which was surrounded by these lilac bushes, and cut my own weapon. The weapon for her to use. It would have been a sheer joy to me at the time if I could have shared another weapon with her and we could have fenced.
What were your feelings toward
Hate.
this woman?
Hate and fear. This fear extended beyond her, it extended to her own son, the oldest boy. During the first years of my life, we were all living in the same house. But I considered him at the time as, what's the word, a sadist or a masochist, or a person who seems to enjoy inflicting punishment on someone else. What's the word?
I believe the sadist is a person who enjoys inflicting punishment on someone else.
The masochist is one who enjoys inflicting punishment on himself.
I think so.
Yes. Well, that was the impression I had of the older boy, because invariably when the mother got through, the older boy would take over. And he didn't have to use any kind of an instrument, he just used the flat of his hand. He was a large person. I imagine taking after her side of the family. He was about 6 feet tall. And when I was punished by him, I don't know, it was much more than a punishment. It was a torture. There were times when I'd have marks on my back for many days on end. That's how cruel it was.
Been here a few days now.
Since Saturday.
Since Saturday. And why did you come in here?
Because I attempted suicide.
You attempted suicide?
Yes.
When did you do that?
Wednesday.
Could you tell us why? Or what made you feel the way you did?
Well, I didn't have any worries, but I don't know what to do. I had nothing to do. I mean, nothing interested me, you know.
Nothing interested you? Has it been that way all along, or was there a time when you were interested in things?
Oh, yeah, I was interested a few years ago.
In the last few years, you have lost interest. So what would you do? Just sit at home?
That's all. I was in the house for 3 weeks. I didn't go out no place.
You didn't go out at all? What about your sleep?
I don't sleep good.
You can't sleep well? And your appetite?
Oh, I got a good appetite. Off and on.
What would you be doing at home? Could you do some housework?
No, we live with my brother-in-law and he has servants, so there's nothing to do.
You'd just be sitting?
Well, I'd be smoking and reading sometimes. When I got finished reading, I'd listen to the radio, lie down.
You actually tried to injure yourself twice, didn't you?
This one was last week and this one this week. I mean, today is Monday. Last week I done this one, the week before I done this one.
How did you do it?
With a razor.
And why did you want to cut your wrist?
Well, you can bleed to death.
You wanted to bleed to death?
Yes, I
Why?
did. Because I have nothing that... I'm tired of here.
You're tired of living?
I'd like to try a new place.
A new place? What new place do you mean?
Well, I expect to go to hell. So, I'm just curious. I don't know what it's like there. Couldn't be any worse than it is here.
Is life so terrible?
Well, I mean to say when a person doesn't sleep and they can't... What is there?